Hello. I'm recording this on the day when the church remembers the apostles Simon and Jude. We don't really know very much about either of them, but tradition has it that they went to Persia to preach the gospel and were martyred there. We keep their feast on the 28th of October because on this date in the 7th century, a church in Rome was dedicated to their memory. That church had just acquired their relics, apparently. Both Simon and Jude were named among the 12 apostles in the gospel accounts of Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Simon is called the Zealot, possibly because he belonged to a resistant movement opposing the Roman occupation of Palestine, but there's no certainty about this. Jude is equally obscure. He is described by Luke as the son of James, whereas the letter of Jude tells us that he is James's brother. It would seem likely that he's the same person as Thaddeus, mentioned by Matthew and Mark, which may have been a last name. Apparently, in the early church, because his name was so similar to that of Judas Iscariot, Jude was rarely invoked in prayer. Possibly because of this, intercession through him was seen as a last resort when all else failed. So Jude became the patron saint of lost causes. But what we do know about them is that because they were among the 12 called by Jesus to be his closest companions, they were present with Jesus on the night before he died to share a meal together in an upper room somewhere in Jerusalem. And so they became crucial figures in the spread of the gospel. It was their responsibility, together with all the other apostles who were eyewitnesses of Jesus' teaching, his miracles, his passion and death and resurrection, to bear witness to him. And they were given the gift of the Spirit at Pentecost to empower them to fulfill their mission. The faith of many millions of Christians down the centuries has been founded upon the reliability of their testimony. The household of God, of which all people are invited to be members, is, as Paul writes, built upon the foundation of the apostles and the prophets. So it is good to celebrate Simon and Jude, about whom we know so little and yet so much, for their witness leads us to Christ, our cornerstone, through whom we belong to God.